Hello, hello. It's time for Fishing Friends. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fishing Friends with Danny and Gina. I'm Danny,
I'm Gina.
and this is going to be a good one. Oh, man.
Oh,
So,
man.
I don't know. I had a decent week or whatever. It was raining a whole lot.
It did rain a whole lot this week.
Good for all my plants and everything, which is nice. And I finally got one of that tomato plant from that customer that I was talking about. It's this really cool one.
It's like black and stuff, isn't it?
Well, it's purple and yellow. It's called Start Rollois or whatever. I guess it kind of looks almost blackish, but in light, it's purple and yellow. Yeah. So I'm hoping.
Oh, that's cool.
Good luck with these, and that they get to be decent size. They're like beefsteak size or whatever. So I'm gonna have to roast them a little bit extra long since these are like super juicy and stuff. But I want to see what sort of color it makes with like a tomato sauce or whatever. If I were to make spaghetti sauce or something out of it,
yeah.
Would it just still come out red after all, or would it be kind of a weird sort of green color from the combination of the yellow and the purple, or I don't know.
Or brown.
Or brown, yeah. Would it look appetizing or would it not? Well, we got Scuba Steve-O here. We got James H here. We got a couple other people that haven't said anything but are lurking and listening, just like James as well. But hey, can see everybody.
Hello,
Scuba Squad.
Scuba Squad.
So I had my family reunion today.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was good. I mean, it was my maternal family reunion, so everybody on my mom's side. And there was a couple of my, direct cousins, like my first cousins that weren't able to attend. And a lot of my second cousins and stuff didn't come. I think there was like one set of like second cousins that came that are like roughly my age, and they came a little bit late. But I made a bunch of deviled eggs because that's what I was gonna make, and I found this really cool tray on Amazon. And
is it nerdy? My nerd senses are tingling.
No, it's not nerdy.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's pretty nice, and it holds a lot. Stupid video. What are you
doing? So it's like a travel. Yeah.
It's like a travel one with the tray. The one with the lid. That's what I really needed, was one with the lid. But it comes with 3 trays that are all stackable and can kind of link together.
Right.
And so friggin' each tray holds 22 eggs. And so it can hold up to 66 eggs. And so
Perfect.
it can be
That's just enough for me.
Exactly. I can be a true egg person, because I had to go out real quick and just get some sort of platter that had a lid on it, because the glass egg tray I have is just like, it's decorative. Like, it's not it doesn't have a lid or anything like that, so it's not really travel safe. And so I had to just go and get one of those big glass like baking dishes, and I fit 27 deviled eggs in there. So I had like seven, and everybody else had 20 to go from and stuff. So
Right.
but yep, really really good. Lots of good food and just hanging out with people and stuff. And but I'm kind of mad that I didn't really think about it, because if I would have thought about it and brought like a fish net and some stuff or whatever, they had some really really cool shiners just going in this little bitty creek, and some that had like a red tail and stuff like that. So I was like, ooh, I want to catch those. Because I mean, gosh, they could have been like, I don't know, like rainbow shiners or some kind of cool. I don't know what type of shiners we have here in Missouri, but they were definitely some sort of shiner, and they looked really, really cool. And I wanted to catch some, but I didn't have anything to do it with. And so, dang it. Those would have looked nice in the pond, too. Because I'm not sure if I said it or not on YouTube, but I got 12 gambusia for the pond as well to eat all the little mosquitoes and stuff that get on the surface, because those guys are just aggressive little bug eaters. And it's fun to watch a little school of gambusia swimming around the pond too. And the fish are finally starting to get more comfortable in there. I'm not sure if I have any of the original 5 little feeder goldfish left. I for sure found 2 bodies, and they were, small little goldfish. They weren't any of the koi or anything that I bought for the pond. But yeah, so I guess that was on Sunday that I went out. Yeah, it was on Sunday after the live stream last week that I went out, and I bought 2 koi and like 2 nice goldfish from there, and all those guys are doing fine. I think there's one. Oh, and then I bought a koi from Pet Supplies Plus, because they had a nice looking butterfly koi that was cheap, and so I got that one. And so the butterfly koi seems to be doing fine. So I have 5 healthy white fish, some with a couple different like orange or black little speckles on the special markings, that are swimming around. Still see a tadpole every now and then, so the tadpoles are doing fine, I guess. And yeah, there's a bunch of gambusia in there too now. So the pond's doing really good. It's been going through some different things, and it's been like kind of stressful and stuff. Because I mean, it's kind of taking me back to almost being a beginning fish keeper again, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you set it up and you want to get a whole bunch of fish, so you buy some fish, and what do? You go get some cheap little feeder goldfish and just see how they do. And all of a sudden they start dying, and the water gets all cloudy and stuff, and you're like, oh no, what's going on? But it's like, oh, everything will be fine. But then, like, it started to clear up a little bit, and then we had a couple storms, and it went kind of cloudy again, but now it's starting to kind of clear up and all that again. So yeah, it's going through all of its different cycling and stuff, but the fish that are in there now seem to be doing just fine. And I would think that with the amount of water, even through the cycling, like a couple little goldfish would be just fine. But those feeder goldfish are just that, like they're not really meant to be alive that long. And I don't even know how they survive as long as they do in the conditions that they're in. And I don't ever recommend people to go to box pet stores or any pet stores and buy goldfish or whatever to feed their other fish. Like, if you want to do live feeding, which, sometimes you have to, but most of the time you don't really have to. It's just a fish keeper's choice. I suggest just getting some like guppies or something like that and just breeding them yourself so that you know they're healthy and good, not like sick, nasty fish that are just gonna probably kill your nice Oscar or whatever else you got.
Yeah. Yeah, I always gave a heads up if my feeder fish ever got sick while I was at our Petco, like around our house Petco. If they ever broke out Nick, I would always ask. And some people get really butthurt whenever I ask them questions. But yeah, I'd be like, "Oh, are you feeding this to a fish or to a reptile?" And they're like, "A reptile or a fish? Why?" And I'm like, "Well, because if you're feeding to a fish, they are sick and they will get your fish sick. So just trying to give you a heads up. F you too." Yep. Like, just trying to be nice.
Always got the attitude, you know.
Always got the attitude.
Yeah. But there is one area in the pond where I have this nice big slab rock that's on like a bend. And so there's this area underneath it where the fish can go. Even the koi that are already like this big or whatever can, get back in there. So it's possible there's still a few of those little feeders still in there kind of hiding around, and they are white, and the rocks and all that stuff are kind of a light color, a mixture of gray color and like a brown khaki sort of colors. So it's very easy for those fish to hide, the little ones for sure. And I feel like I need to add a few more hiding spots in the pond. Like I've been kind of thinking about putting like a cinder block in there, and then just like putting a rock or maybe 2 slab rocks or whatever around it.
Like flower pots, or aren't there like archway, like little landscaping, like little clay archways that you can do?
Yeah, there's that. But I was thinking something that like would look more natural, but the reason you put a cinder block in there, but then put rocks like to hide the cinder block, but just use that as the basis to, of the cave for the fish to hide in, so, or like the archway.
Yeah.
Put a couple of rocks on top so you just can't really see it, and then buy another lily or something like that and put that on top of the rock so that you can't even see it. Like, yeah, I could do something like that since I haven't been able to find a good piece of wood. I almost found a really good piece of wood at the reptile show a few weeks back, maybe about a month back now, but I wasn't ready to buy one then, and but it was a hell of a deal, and it would have been perfect for the pond, honestly.
Yeah.
Same without it. The Keystone Clash. At the end of it, that big old piece of wood ended up being like 50% off or whatever, and it's just like, we don't want to go home with it, man. Come on, just buy it. It's like, I can't.
Right. Like, I want to, but
no. All right. Let's keep ranging. We got more people here that we haven't said hi to.
Yeah.
Melvin. How you doing, Melvin?
Melvin.
Sabrina's here. How you doing, Sabrina?
Hi, Sabrina again.
My favorite YouTube handle name, Window Liquor number 5. And we got Empire of Dirt, Jeff Kane, Aquatic. How you doing, Jeff Kane? Yep, hit that thumbs up on both sides. And Petzotics is here. How is it going, Diego?
Hello, hello.
FishFam.link. Thanks for being here. And we got Shady Grady. How's it going, Shady Grady? All
The
right.
shadiest of the Grady's.
Sabrina asks, "Are you going to show us your new nails?" Well, of course I am.
Actually, that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm currently working on. I got home and I immediately sat down, ate some food, and was just chilling on TikTok. So I thought I'd already have them painted by now, but I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Where is this? What frick number is that? 6. Okay.
I came home from my family reunion and started playing some City of Heroes with my friends online, and all of a sudden, one of them is just like, "Oh, okay, it's 7 o'clock already," and I look at my watch, and I have an analog watch. It does have a small area where it shows the digital time, but it's an analog watch. And I just quickly looked at it, and I thought that it said 7 o'clock as well. I didn't, and so I was like, okay, it's 7 o'clock. So it's like I gotta end. I gotta get off like really, really soon. And we were in the middle of this like really, really long mission. And then all of a sudden, I look at my watch again, and the big hand was down at like the 6. So I'm like, okay, now it's like, it's 7:30. So I was like, I need to get off like really, really soon. We didn't get off until what I thought was like 7:50, and so it's like I'm getting everything rushing. I'm hopping on to get on the stream, and I look, and it's wait a minute. When he said it's 7 o'clock, he's in a different time zone than I'm in.
Oh no!
I still had an hour until the stream, so I was able to kind of relax and stuff. But so I went out in the yard, did some trimming on some plants, and got some good watering in on the new tomato plant that I got in, and just everything else because I put my cannas out, my banana trees out now, and I lost one banana tree over winter. Inside, it just like turned into a big old moldy thing, whereas all the other ones still had structure to them. So I planted the other 3, and then when I was out watering today, the smallest one seemed to have lost all of its structure, but I just cut off everything and just left the base in the ground, and I'll just keep watering and stuff and see if anything pops up because it's possible. Banana trees are interesting. They're a bulb more or less, and they grow this big old tall thing, and then the bananas are like the flower and then the fruit. So they don't tend to get to that point here in this area because our summers aren't long enough, and they die in our winter. But there's some people that are able to get them to survive somehow. Like they have them planted close enough to their house to where they just chop them down more or less and cover the base with a whole lot of mulch, and then somehow they pop back up through the winter. And I guess once you have so many of them, you don't care if like half of them die because it's like I got 40 trees. Like I only need like 20 of them in that patch. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my week's been going well too. Not a lot going on. I had offered over the last weekend to help out the old store around our house with their strip and wax. The floor crew comes once or twice a year and strips all the wax and then re-waxes the floor and then buffs it and stuff. It's like an overnight thing. Well, the store leader of our local store called mine, was saying, oh yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to it. So-and-so's on PTO and so-and-so says they don't want to do it. And I now have this like big training thing I have to do. And I was like, I'll do it. And I was like, I live right down the street. I don't care if I'm there late. Well, Tuesday morning when I was off, my store leader called me. He's like, how serious were you about helping with the strip and wax? I was like, I mean, I'll do it. He goes, okay, so you can be at the store tonight at 8. I'm like, tonight? Tonight? He goes, yeah, you didn't know? And I was like, I didn't realize. I mean, yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, I stayed up till about 4. I got off at like 4:13 in the morning, Wednesday morning.
Wow.
Went home, slept, and then went to work at my store at 12 for the freight day. It was very interesting. It was very interesting. So I lost some sleep this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it'll be worth it. That paycheck will be nice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've finally started to see the impact of my raise actually impacting my check now.
Oh, good.
And that's nice. So it's nice to get the extra money for the extra bonuses for the things that I already do anyway.
They're gonna be butterfly designs, Sabrina. I have not strayed from my original plan of doing butterfly wings.
Hi everyone, I'm a little bit tired here in Europe. 3:22 a.m. here.
Mickey!
A 15-gallon tank from a friend who's moving. Need to be there in 7 hours. Will you Lurky? Take care. Well, hey. You get yourself some good sleep.
Yes.
Because, 15-gallon tank. I still got to go get that 30-gallon tank. Because it's got some really cool dimensions. I got to remember it was 3 foot long, but then it wasn't like super short, and it was like kind of nice and wide too. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like the same height as like a 40-gallon breeder, and I guess the same length as a 40-gallon breeder, but it wasn't as deep. The 40-gallon breeder. It's very, very interesting dimensions, and so I'm kind of excited to get that and scape it out, and gotta decide what sort of fish I'm going to get, and also where I'm going to put it.
Right?
It's I don't know. Being that, there's nothing in this tank over here, this 55-gallon. And there's only a few fish in that one. I might be able to just add a few fish of that into there and put the 3-foot tank over here in replacement of that 29-gallon here. But then I'm going to have to put like a different sort of stand there. I don't know.
I don't know either. You'll figure it out.
Oh, how did you make out with your car? It got hailed on last time I tuned. Wow. Well, it's been a while.
Because it's been a while.
The whole process took a while. And you may not even realize, but if it's been that long since you tuned in, you don't even know that I cut my hair. Yeah. I donated my hair to Wigs for Kids, so there's that. I did that a little over 2 weeks ago now. But with my car, insurance company paid me an all right amount for the settlement. It took a while to get everything dealt with because I had to go get a new title because I don't think I ever received my original title in the mail for that car, and so I had to go and apply for a duplicate. And then I was trying to get all the right paperwork for the engine replacement that I had on it so that I could get all the money that I properly deserved for the value of the car, because being that it had an engine that had less than 10,000 miles on it, that means they can sell that engine for a higher amount than an engine that had, the 108,000 miles on there. But even so, a 2016 car with only 108,000 miles on it, that's really low mileage anyway. But they gave me an all right amount. I could never. Basically, they wanted an actual receipt for the engine, and I didn't have a receipt for the engine because it was done under warranty work, and so I didn't pay for the engine. And so they more or less, through loopholes, different ways of this stupid game of insurance that I didn't really want to play, but I ended up having to play for like a whole month. They ended up winning, and because I didn't have a proper receipt for the engine, so more or less because I didn't pay for the engine, they didn't give me any extra value for the engine replacement. And so the friggin' junkyard's gonna make out pretty good with that car, even though it's covered with hail. And but now I have a new I have another Hyundai Veloster. This one's 2012, so the first year it came out, and it's a manual, and I definitely enjoy a manual car. I just like being like one with the car. It does kind of help keep me from doing texting and driving as much, even though it's like we all do it, even though we know we shouldn't.
I don't.
Yeah, most of the time I don't. I really don't, because I don't like text anybody. But like if I get a text, sometimes if I'm like at a stoplight or something like that, I might check to see what it is.
Oh, well, that's different. To me, that's different.
But yeah, in general, I'm not using my phone while I'm driving, and it's especially difficult to do when you're required to use both hands and both feet.
Right.
You
know what, Sabrina? I call out sick once, and the whole time I transferred there, I restarted Petco, and I'm never gonna live it down.
Yeah. So, since I bought an older car, I ended up making out extra on the insurance check. So I didn't pay off my credit card completely. I paid a good portion of it down, but I also had added on more, in finishing my pond and all that stuff. So I'm doing a whole lot better than what I was, I guess before my car got hailed on, and then like everything. So even though I have an older car, like it's doing me all right or whatever, it's still getting me around. The 2016 Veloster probably would have got me around a whole lot longer, in one way, but also like the tags were expired, and Missouri has this weird like personal property tax stuff that I had all screwed up and everything. So getting that insurance check I was able to get all that stuff resolved, and so now I'm caught up with all my personal property taxes. This car is registered for 2 years, and I even ordered personal license plates.
Oh, nice.
Personalized ones. I haven't gotten those yet, but I got GB Hero.
GB Hero?
Yeah.
Glass Box Hero. Hell yeah.
Yep. I was when I got my first Veloster, I tried to order personalized plates, and I was trying to get Raptor, but like all the good spellings of it were like taken. So I did it with like RAPT1R. Like,
Yeah.
and that one was accepted or something like that. So I ordered that, but it was like I ordered it like right before everything got shut down with the pandemic. It was like right at the beginning of March or end of February. It was like mid to end February when I ordered those license plates. And so right there in like March of 2020, like boom, everything got shut down. And so I never got an email about the license plates or nothing. They never received anything. The DMV and all that stuff was shut down for like 3 months and all that, to where, gosh, I ended up riding around on 10 tags for like 2 years in that original Veloster because of the whole fiasco with all that stuff and, work and different issues with the pandemic. But I'm so glad all that's over, even though I'd much rather wish it never happened, because it definitely changed everything about the world. But
yeah,
also kind of brought me into fish keeping a whole lot more than I originally was, because I had, time to sit there and look at all those videos and stuff, because there was nothing else to do. I was just going to work and coming home and watching YouTube. And then I started working at a pet store. And so then that's when all the fish keeping really broke loose. But now I've been neglecting all my tanks inside.
Me too. Oh, it's so bad.
Putting all my effort into getting that pond finished. I feel really bad for neglecting like all my tanks and stuff. I still display some of them, but yeah, it is what it is, and yeah, I feel like a bad fish keeper sometimes. But it's also so difficult. I kind of set myself up, pretty hard, like with a lot of these different things. Like at one point, I got up to 20 fish tanks running, and that was just too much.
Yeah.
And then I got it down to like 10. And I think like right now I actually have like maybe 8 set up, but not like half of them have fish in there. So I just need to kind of take some of these down and reset some of these larger ones up and get that 30-gallon and kind of redo my fish room again. Maybe do a whole like video project on that. And then after I do that, then finish that saltwater tank out there too. What I mean, Gina, is we already
she's adding to my plate. I thought she was giving me trouble.
Be down for 4 people. It would have been perfect.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Well, we had just done like a store round inventory the week before. So, not like an official inventory, but like a lot of stuff that we were missing, a lot of holes on the shelf we were scanning and making sure were zeroed, correcting the counts on. So it was a big truck. It was 3 or 4 more pallets than usual. And then, we had 3 call outs. So we cut it close. We got it done. We got it all done in one day. but we are definitely cutting it close. 3G Silver Creek, hello.
Silver Creek and 3G have joined us. Silver Creek instantly reminded me that, I was talking about deviled eggs earlier and how I made a whole bunch for my family reunion today. I was originally going to have 30 because I successfully hard-boiled 15 eggs and were able to peel them without them being like kind of destroyed to the point to where I couldn't make a nice looking deviled egg. So I just had to eat those right away, which sacrifices have to be made.
Sacrifices.
But I ended up kind of having a couple break along the way of cutting them in half too. So I ended up with 27. And that's all I could fit in that tray anyway, which is like, it just ended up kind of being perfect. But I just yesterday, I came home with a dozen duck eggs from work, from one of my coworkers that gets them from a farm and all that stuff. And it's like, man, if I would have had those a week ago, I would have made deviled duck eggs for my family reunion instead. But I wasn't able to do that. But also, you should, with deviled eggs or hard-boiled eggs in general, you should let your eggs sit for a while. Because it's a lot easier to peel them, and they just they age properly after so long. The way to tell if your egg is good, okay, so if you have water, this doesn't matter what the temperature is, but we'll just say like room temperature water. If you put your egg in there, if it sinks, it's good for baking, or like cooking, cracking right away, scrambled eggs, whatever sort of thing like that. If it just like stands up on like one end, or is maybe just like floating just ever so slightly just by one end, like but standing upwards or whatever, that's when it's perfect to hard boil. If it's like floating completely or whatever, that's when the egg is bad and you just want to throw it out. So it's best to hard boil when it's just floating a tiny bit.
Or do you like me and you just eat them? And
it doesn't always work, but then again, we don't refrigerate our eggs. Yeah, and really, if you're doing unwashed eggs, you shouldn't refrigerate them. That's the best way to do it anyway. But my coworker, as soon as he brings these eggs, he just instantly puts them in the fridge at work, and so it's just like, well, okay. So I just refrigerate them. So it is what it is. Yep.
It is what it is.
Unrefrigerated, they last longer, but sometimes you get a surprise. So crack them in a different bowl before you mix them. Yeah. Sometimes you get a surprise because they are fertilized, but in order for them to actually develop, they have to be warm. So that's why you keep them in like a cool, dry place. Or on the counter or whatever, but just not in direct sunlight or anything like that.
Right.
But yep, I'm excited for duck eggs because I love duck eggs. They are just so good. Silver Creek says they're great for baking. I don't do any baking. I just like eggs. So sometimes I just crack one open and just eat it right there. Just throw it in the microwave real quick or just pan fry it, whatever. Most of the time, though, I think my favorite form of eggs is either egg salad or deviled eggs. But all egg salad is just mushed up deviled eggs. So that's just my favorite form of eggs. So I tend to hard boil them and just either eat them as they are hard boiled or make like an egg salad, or just do a quick couple deviled eggs and just eat those. But I love eggs. Eggs are so good. Eggs is good.
I like omelets.
Omelets are fun, but I don't tend to go through the whole effort of omelets when I'm at the house. When I was in Iraq, they had omelet bars or whatever during breakfast time. And so, yeah, I'd get like a ham and cheese omelet or something like that every now and then. But it's because somebody else was doing the whole thing, and I just got the awesome omelet at the end. Throw some hot sauce on top of that. Ooh, yeah. But I don't care for all the veggies and all that stuff, so I
You can just have a meat and cheese omelet.
Yep. Meat and cheese.
That's why I like omelets. They're versatile.
Exactly. Well, that's what's great about eggs in general. Eggs are just super versatile, just like potatoes and stuff. And that's like the whole analogy right there too. You know, like the same boiling water that makes an egg hard makes a potato soft. And so it's just like, but also potatoes and eggs are like the two most versatile foods out there. There's so many different forms of eating them, and all of them are good.
Yeah.
And also, you can like use them to do other things. You can make potato bread. You use eggs in baking a lot as a binder, and you kind of make it kind of spongy or whatever too.
Mm-hmm. You know what else is good that I was thinking about eating while I was doing this? Marshmallows. I love marshmallows.
We always end up on food.
Always.
And
because food is such a versatile topic.
Yep, there's that. And then it's also because I always want to eat before the live stream, and I never do.
Yeah, I actually did. But I can always talk about food. I'm a foodie.
Sometimes I do. But I ate a lot at the family reunion, and so like I haven't eaten since.
All you can think about are those deviled eggs.
They were good. They were really good. My sister was all like, you could have used more mustard. I was like, I don't like mustard. I just use enough of it to get the color and a little bit of that flavor, you know. She's like, well, I like it with a lot of mustard. I'm like, well, that's why my deviled eggs are better than yours.
So you can kiss my butt and you can make them next time.
Nope, but I ordered that tray, which, if you guys haven't seen it, I'm going to show it again because it's freaking awesome. It's this stackable. I'm sure you can buy multiples of these because I think each tray is exactly the same, but somehow they like hook together or something, or at least I assume they hook together. Maybe they just stack on top of each other. But it says easy to carry and all that stuff, so I assume you can just grab the top and like I don't know. But
go to town.
Yeah. So each layer can hold 22 eggs. So there's 3 layers, so I can bring 66 eggs, which is just enough for Gina and me.
Yep.
So
I'll take 1 tray for first and a second tray for seconds.
I was generous today since I only had 27 eggs. I only ate 7 of them, and I left 20 for everybody else to get. But I only started with 4. And my great uncle Ray came over and was like, "Oh, you must have made these." I'm like, "Oh yeah."
I sure freaking did.
Because like I just checked that and was like, he knows those are good. So and then he asked me what what I put in them, and I told him, I used a little bit of Creole seasoning. So like, oh, so they're spicy. I'm like, No, maybe just a little bit, but it's just more about the flavor that comes from it. Because I mean, gosh, with all the egg yolk and the Miracle Whip and all that other stuff, you would need to add a significant amount of spice to be able to, notice it. And I didn't add a lot of seasoning in there, just a little bit into the general mix, and then afterwards I used it as kind of a garnish so that as you're bringing it to your mouth, you get the scent of it to accentuate all the flavor, but then you don't get the a lot of heat or anything like that. You just get the nice creaminess of the deviled egg or deviled eggs. I need more deviled eggs. Yep, I love deviled eggs too much.
They are good.
Yep, and they destroy my digestive system, but they're so good.
So worth it.
Yep.
See, I got different colors because I'm going to do butterfly wings on all of them. So they're all going to have butterfly wing patterns. So they're like different butterflies.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I have this stamp plate. I don't know if it's going to show up on stream. I might have to
take
the little...
side profile or yeah, okay.
No.
Nice.
Yeah, like little windows, yeah.
Nice.
So these ones over here. Yeah, they're different butterfly wing prints. There you go. Now you can really see it.
Cool.
So you'll see the color on all these dark parts. That's
right.
the color that'll poke through. So yeah, I'm excited. I have to wait for them to dry though. This is why I don't paint my real nails, is because like there's a lot of like hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait.
But that's what's great about that whole thing. Or whatever.
Not really, because during the wait period, then my mind keeps going, and I always take it too far to where it starts to get like cluttered, and like I tend to do too much on these like crafty creative projects.
Well, yeah, but no, I was saying it was great to do it the way that you're doing it versus on like your actual fingernails and having to try to do other things during that wait period. Whereas with the fingernails, like with those that are off your hands, you can literally just put it away and go do other stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I usually let them sit overnight to make sure they're fully dry before I glue them on. But yeah, no, I can't stand like being stationary because it's kind of like cabin fever, where it's just like now I can't do anything, so now I want to do everything. It's terrible.
And then sometimes because I keep trying to do something or whatever, I end up doing like too much or whatever, and sometimes you can't take it back.
Yeah,
at least not easily.
No,
like I was painting my first like little mini figure when I was gonna play some D&D, and because I finally found like the perfect little mini figure to represent my Dungeons and Dragons character, and so I got it and I was going to paint it the exact colors and everything that I wanted it to be. And a lot of it was, pretty good. Like I didn't do like super high detailed stuff because I didn't have like, I don't know, like 20 different colors of paint to go with. I only went with like 3 or 4 main colors. So I didn't have a lot of detailed shading and like
highlights and
the highlights and stuff like that. I didn't do any of the mixing with black or white like I could have done. But one of the things was like I was like working on his face, and he was supposed to be like really, really light skinned, but then I wanted him to have like the blackest of black hair. And so I was like working on his eyebrows, and the eyebrows were super difficult. I had this like super duper fine paintbrush, and I'm just like going at it really, really carefully. And at first they were just too thin to where it just didn't quite work. And so I was trying to add more, and as I just kept trying to just get it to look a little bit better, all of a sudden I added too much, and he ended up with like this like really big fluffy eyebrows.
Aww.
It's like it looked okay for like a barbarian sort of thing, like to have like these big, like fluffy eyebrows, but he was supposed to be more of like an elf sort of, as a
Like
dark
more of a,
elf.
yeah, like a dainty.
But a
Yeah.
pale dark elf versus like a dark skinned, like the traditional like slate skinned dark elf. Um, so, but yeah, it ended up being like fluffy eyebrows, looking more like a dwarf versus an elf. But yeah,
That's okay.
Lady Diane is here.
Lady Diane. Oh my goodness.
Don't have a very interactive chat tonight, but that is okay. Is there something? I just wonder if there's something else going on.
I wonder if everybody's like doing water changes or something.
Yeah, I mean, it is also that time of the year to where, like, kids are graduating school.
Yes.
And all that stuff. So people are, getting out, doing family vacations, things like that. Memorial weekend is next weekend, but some people have already finished their school, and so they're already heading out, trying to beat the crowds on different things. So there's that. But yeah, this is like, I'd say I like fall. But I think really like spring is just like my favorite time of the year for real. I just love to watch all the flowers bloom and stuff. And I just love to go plant shopping and just garden and all these different things. And
Yeah, I could see the appeal of spring when gardening because then you're like planning, it's the planning process. But then like late summer into fall is like when it comes into fruition. So
well, exactly. Harvest season is great too, you know. But there's some things that you can harvest earlier and all that. Like I probably have some gooseberries that are getting ready to ripen up here in probably the next few days. Even I haven't actually checked to see, but I have golden gooseberries, and you can't really tell visibly like when they're ripe. Like they'll get to so big or whatever, and you can be like, okay, that's probably the largest it's gonna grow, but you can't tell when it's like truly ripe.
yeah.
Because if you get it early, they're like really, really firm to where it's almost like chewing on styrofoam. But if you go just a little too long, they're okay, but they're just not really as sweet anymore. It's just like the sugars kind of did too much, and it starts to kind of, I don't know, just not be a little mushy or whatever too. But if you leave them, I found out if you leave them on the plant for a really long time, they do just kind of eventually turn this like deep shade of like red. But they're definitely not good to eat when they go that color. I tried one. It was not good. Yeah. So they definitely have an interesting window. The way you can tell is you just want to kind of squeeze it a little bit, and it should have a little bit of a give, but I don't know. I'm not having a hard time kind of describing exactly what I mean, but
That's okay.
It should be a little squishy, but not too squishy. But you shouldn't apply too much pressure. But like when you squeeze it, it should have a little bit of a give to it. And
Lady Diane says that she's been picking strawberries all week.
Yep. I guess her Juneberry ones are being a little bit early, which is interesting because my sister was thinking that the black raspberries would be ready by now. I didn't have that much experience with them because this is only like my second year having them. My first year, they were just little bitty plants. Now they're like taking over like crazy, but there's berries all over, but none of them are quite ready yet. But what's funny is the fall gold raspberries that I have that are really supposed to more be ripe in fall, they're already covered in berries too, and one of them is already ripening up at the same progress as the black raspberries. So I wonder if the hormones are like affecting each other, or the pheromones, or whatever it is with plants. I'm not sure if it's still hormones with them or not, but all the chemicals and stuff with the plants might be interacting and causing stuff to
Silver Creek will chime in any second now to let us know.
But I did my first year. I got some early in the year, and then I did get a whole second wave of the fall gold ones in the fall. So I don't know. Maybe there's that. But yep, blackberries are just done flowering. My blackberries are pretty much just done flowering now too. There's still some flowers on there, but a lot of the flowers have already kind of fallen off, and they're starting to fruit up now, which is exciting. And I got a bunch of blueberries too, and I'm really excited because this is the first year that I have blueberries on my pink lemonade blueberry tree or bush. So I'm really excited to get some pink lemonade blueberries. And
That's exciting.
Into another zone. We're still figuring out our new one. I didn't know. Wait. They say Missouri changed zones. We're 7A now? I didn't know that. Well, I know. Oh, what's kind of exciting is I know before I was saying that I didn't think any of my calla lilies were coming back because I guess they were a little bit more tropical than a lot of the other lilies and stuff that we have, here in Missouri, which I guess, also cannas are a type of lily as well. So those you have to take inside. But I thought all of mine died. And then all of a sudden, it's like I saw one sprouting up, but I think I might see another one or two sprouting up now too. So, hey, I might have some calla lilies that are coming back.
Nice.
A really cool sort of like trumpet tulip sort of flower, like bowl sort of shape. They're really cool looking. They were 7-8. I don't even truly know exactly what that means, but I guess that means we're hotter now than we used to be.
I don't know. I am not the person to ask about that.
Yeah, I have no idea. And speaking of hold on. Calla's were my wedding flower. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, so calla, lily. There's lots of different colors and varieties. Different varieties go to different heights. Some have spots on their leaves, some don't. But yeah, they got this really nice sort of trumpety bowl sort of shaped flower that's really, really nice. Then there's like purples. I think the ones that I got were like this color.
Ooh.
So I hope those are the ones that are coming back. But I've seen these before. Oh, so these are the Picasso calla lilies. Those are really cool looking.
Those are neat.
There's another picture of them.
I like the contrast on those.
Yeah. Wow, look at this. Dark ones. Nice. But yeah, they're really nice and relatively easy to grow. But yeah, I guess depending on where you're at in the world, you might have to take them inside over winter and all that. If you grow them closer to your house where the ground doesn't actually freeze because it absorbs some of the warmth from your house, you might have better success growing them. Same way with banana plants and cannas and all that different stuff. Ooh, look at that. I love it. Okay. I like flowers.
Flowers are pretty.
Yeah.
So what's funny is I have this little neck fan that I bought initially for fishing, and right now I'm using it to dry my nails. Like I put my little nail things right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I initially bought it for fishing, so this part goes like on the nape of your neck, and it's just like these two little fans.
Right.
No, I now use it for drying my nails.
That's great. That's
It works fantastically.
Well, see, that's what I was talking about with that friggin' lamp that I saw at Office Depot that I'm still thinking about going back and getting. It was like an LED ring light, but then instead of just having an empty hole in the middle of the ring, it had like a 3 to 4 times. I don't remember the actual dot. I don't know how to label the zoom on a magnifying glass, but it had a magnifying glass in the middle of it, and so I was thinking that'd be really cool for like a fish bowl because it's the round light, so it's good for fish bowl in general. But then also if you got all the little creatures and stuff in there, like your little shrimps and whatever else, snails, Daphnia, little seed shrimp like I got in mine, seed shrimp and ram's horn snails. You can use it as just a normal light, and then you can take it around because it had both a stand and a clip with this really cool 3-way adjustable stand to where you could take the lamp and move it around like a freaking dentist lamp and look at the bowl from all different angles and use the magnifying glass to zoom in and get some cool pictures or just observe it from a closer perspective. So, yeah, I'm thinking about going to get it because it was like $60 or something like that, maybe 70. So.
Yeah.
I bought one for a triple crab. What are you talking about, Diane? Oh, the neck fan.
They're so nice.
They make different types. There's ones that just sit on your chest and just blow, and they help suck the air away from your chest to help that way. There's ones that go in the shirt and this is one I don't think it's real, but it was funny. There's a fan that was blowing under from a belt buckle blowing straight up.
Oh, straight up, yep. I seen one
that was going like this. So it's constantly He was oh, that's hilarious.
I did see that and I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh man. Yeah, sorry. The chat delay, I hate it how sometimes I try to make a joke, and by the time it gets to the host of the live stream, they've quickly moved on to another topic, and then they look at chat and my joke doesn't make any sense anymore. And they're like, what? I don't understand. And then when you explain a joke, it's no longer funny. So you just gotta let.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see all my fish and stuff grow out in this pond.
Oh yeah, I bet.
It's starting to look really good. As everything's starting to clear out again, and the fish are starting to get more comfortable and stuff. I've started feeding. I didn't feed for like the first week or something like that, and I started kind of feeding. The first couple times I fed like every other day or something, but now I started kind of feeding like every day, and just getting out there in the morning, throwing a couple little goldfish pellets out there, and then I kind of step back inside and just look out the back window and just kind of watch the fish slowly kind of come up and kind of go after them and all that. It was really, really nice, to kind of see that as they're getting more comfortable in there. So I'm starting to get a view for the future when the fish are much larger and they're like coming up to me and all that stuff. But then I'm also kind of like a little worried about it because it's just like I made that pond super easy for a lot of different predators in a different way. And that might end up biting me in the ass one day. I'm probably going to
Yeah.
the half-eaten 2.5-foot koi from a raccoon or something like that. But there's a couple cats around the neighborhood that hang out in my yard that in general I don't mind so much because they probably keep some of the other stuff away from like my garden and all that. But I also don't want them to become a problem with my pond or anything else. I tried to start some seeds outside. Um, for I tried to start two castor beans to grow a couple of castor plants to be an additional deterrent for some different animals and stuff like that. And so I can grow, use a bunch of castor beans to make castor oil. But the probably a couple days, maybe even the day before the seeds were gonna like sprout and pop out of the dirt, I go outside and squirrels or something just ransacked the little bitty pots and just pulled all the dirt out. And I was looking, I couldn't find the little beans anywhere. So I hope the little rat tree bastards, I hope they ate the beans and died.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the beans have ricin, which is like poisonous. So the beans are like poisonous if you eat them, for sure. They're like one of the most poisonous things out there. And then the plant itself is poisonous to like eat and all that too. And so it's a good like deer deterrent and all that. Animals in general just tend to be smart enough to not eat it, but apparently these squirrels are not, at least with the beans, I guess. Or maybe they didn't eat them, maybe they just took them somewhere else, but it's like, you freaking squirrels suck.
Yep.
Forest is run over by squirrels. Yeah. And these squirrels are like being hybridized with different things or whatever too, or something, because like I thought they were supposed to be gray squirrels, but I've been seeing a lot more red coming out in some of these other ones. But I've seen a few squirrels that actually have like blonde tails. Like blonde hair. Like it's like that is just crazy. Yep, squirrels are evil. Squirrels ate all my blueberries one year.
Those bastards.
No, I'm saying like, so some of these squirrels I think are like, I think a lot of the different squirrels in the area are not just like true like gray squirrels. I think they're like mixed with like red squirrels, but not like a lot, just a little bit. Because like they're getting red and stuff, but they're not necessarily having the extra fluff on the ears. So like I just searched red squirrel on Google. This is, a red squirrel, but just like a red squirrel, Virginia Department of Wildlife. This is more of what I'm talking about. Like we're getting a lot of these different reds coming out in our gray squirrels now. And so I believe I saw an article years ago or whatever where it was saying that they were possibly being like hybridized in the wild, where like we're getting this combination of red and gray squirrels. Gray's still red together. Well, I don't know. We're getting a lot of different colors coming out of squirrels, and it's cool. So it's kind of cool, but it's also like squirrels are evil. So I need to finish my fence around the garden. I pretty much have my plan for what I want to do. I'm just gonna get those like metal spike posts and get like that freaking welded wire fence. But I just gotta do my measurements to know exactly how much I need, so I don't buy like way too much. Because I realized when I was, finishing my pond that I bought a large liner because I wanted to make my pond, much larger. And when I was reading the sheet of it was like 14 by 20 feet, I was thinking like all this different size or whatever. But I ended up having so much extra liner that I probably could have bought a medium liner with the size of the pond that I actually dug out and been just fine. Because after laying all the rocks and getting everything in place, like I cut off so much extra liner using scissors and all that stuff, to where I could have like friggin' laid out all the extra liner and done like a friggin' third layer. So I don't want to end up with too much extra fence, because then it's like, well, what do I do with all that?
Yeah.
That fence is it's kind of nice, but once it gets all bent up and stuff, it's I don't know, it just doesn't look right and doesn't really serve a good purpose anymore. Because there used to be this little fence around my blueberry bushes when I bought the house, but it was just really rickety looking and all bent up or whatever, to where I just figured it wasn't doing anything anyway, so I just took that whole fence down. And it was that year that I took the fence down that the squirrels ate all my blueberries. So I guess maybe the fence was doing a little bit of something, or maybe it was just the fact that I was doing so much care or whatever with the blueberries and all that, that I was bringing a lot of attention to them. I don't know. But yeah, that year, which was like, I think last year, I had my blueberry bushes were covered with blueberries, but I only got one blueberry myself, because the day that they all got like ripe and stuff and were ready to be picked, the squirrels ransacked the entire bush.
Of course.
Yep. So I need to build another little fence around that. And then make that one just kind of, I guess, short enough to where I can like still step over it if I need to, but just kind of there to help deter a little bit, I guess. And then in the garden area, I'm going to do that, but then there's going to be one area where I want to make an actual like gate because I want the fence to be, I don't know, like 4 foot high or something like that. I want it to be like an actual nice looking little fenced area. And then I can also like build off of the fence and like do trellising and stuff with it as well. So
Right.
So yeah, I need to figure out. That's the part that I'm trying to like really figure out is how I'm going to build a gate. And I guess I could put like a little wooden framed gate right in the middle of all that. And then cover the gate in like the fence stuff or whatever as well after making the cross with the wood and all that. That'd probably be the best thing to do, actually. Fences don't work, use netting. Yeah. Netting only works if you really suspend it like off the plant, because like the birds and the squirrels can just like climb on top of the netting and just reach right in and grab all the stuff out.
I did the first one.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yay!
Nice.
Thanks. I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, squirrels play on my fences, and yeah, squirrels play on fences and all that stuff too. All the time. Like, I'm not saying the squirrels are going to play on the fence, but the problem with netting is that when you want to harvest, then you got to move all the netting and all that stuff too. So it's the same thing with the pond. Like, you know, you can use netting to protect your fish and the pond from like leaves and predators and all that stuff. But then you got this big old net over your pond. Like, I don't want a net over my pond. But oh man, the friggin' lawn people came, and I was wondering, like, what are the lawn people gonna do with my pond or whatever? Are they gonna do a good job of like trimming around it and whatever else? Are they gonna look out for the plants that I just planted and not, you know, just zip right over the little lavender plant that I just put in the ground or whatever else? And in general, they did a good job as far as I can see. Like, everything looks like they did a good job trimming, and they didn't kill any of my plants that I didn't want them to trim. But there was a bunch of like grass shavings and stuff in the pond floating on the water when I got home one day and on Friday. And so I had to grab my skimmer and get all that stuff out. And so it's just like, man, I wish you guys could have been a little bit more careful around that. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I wasn't home when it happened, so I don't know if they got a lawnmower too close and it just blew it right in from a lawnmower, or if it was from one of the trimmer guys. But I would hope that if they would have potentially seen my skimmer, they would have like cleaned it up after themselves. But yeah, I really hope they're a little bit more careful around my pond, because I don't want all the grass clippings in there. A couple leaves or whatever falling in here and there, I'm fine with that, you know, the dead leaves. But I don't want all the grass clippings in there all the time.
Right.
Because fresh grass clippings is a little bit different than, you know, dying brown leaves and stuff going in there and being natural, like botanicals and all that other stuff. Nano Aquarium guys here. What's up, dude? It's been a nice light night as far as the chat goes, Nano, but I'm not sure if there's just a lot of other stuff going on or whatever else, but this has been kind of a quiet night.
That's okay. We chilling.
Yeah, we're chilling. It's fine. Let's see. I'm checking YouTube to see if there's anything else.
I'm painting my nails.
Doesn't look like there's anything else as far as my subscriptions go. But then again,
Let me check.
I'm really subscribe to everybody.
Let me check. Aquafunk is live with Biz. That's where everybody is.
Yeah. Gotcha. Ice cream time. Yeah. I need some ice cream too.
She's got some new ice cream pops at Aldi today. Or not today, the other day. So far, I actually haven't tried them. I can't even say so far they're good because I don't know.
Schwann's got some new ice cream. They have a cinnamon bun. That cinnamon bun one is deadly good.
Is it?
Like it's way too good. Like I don't know if it's like the same amount of like how like if it is bad for me as an actual cinnamon roll. Like I don't know. Like because I really feel like I could eat that entire carton and not feel as bad doing that as I would eating like 7 cinnamon rolls. But like, would it be better for me to eat the 7 cinnamon rolls versus the entire carton of cinnamon bun ice cream? I don't know.
Depends on if you digest dairy better or carbs.
Yeah, I guess so. I probably digest the dairy better in general. I probably wouldn't hold as much of it as like fat, because carbs are just bad for you in general. Well, they're not bad for you, but and a lot of people struggle with carbs because we eat super simple carbs that just, instant fat pretty much on the body.
Right.
I'm not a nutritionist, but I've been through a lot of different classes and stuff where I have a general understanding of some of those things, but I'm not going to talk about the way that, the body absorbs different nutrients in different ways because I don't want anybody to take my word for it or whatever.
No, I definitely can't speak on it.
But I do know that protein is, one of the best things that you can eat just because it takes a lot of energy for your body to digest it. So it doesn't build a lot of fat in that way. And it helps, you like in a way you lose weight while you're eating it because it takes work to break it down. But then like it also helps build, the muscle and stuff that you need to keep doing everything else. And because it also takes longer to break down and is more complex than like carbs and a lot of and fats and other things like that, it sits in your stomach a little bit longer. You feel full longer, so you eat less, and it's just much better for you in general. And so, high protein diets. That's why you always talk about, the high protein diets with, fish keeping and all that stuff too. Like, what's the best food you can feed your discus? It's freaking beef heart because it's like super high in protein and it's got like the healthy fats. I mean, gosh, that's what's so great about this like hobby is like a lot of fish keepers are very, very smart people talking about all the different nutrients levels in their fish foods, talking about the science of the fish tank, all this different stuff. Gosh, so many different cool channels out there in this YouTube realm. So if you're one of those random people that just happen to stumble upon this live stream right at this moment or whatever, expand out there and check out all this different stuff in the YouTube world. It's lots of good stuff out there. I wish YouTube didn't have as many different stupid restrictions, and I wish the algorithm worked a little bit better. But if there's something you want to know or something you're trying to figure out how to do, there's a video out there for you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my customers has been looking at, like remodeling videos and all this stuff, and they completely redid like all their bathrooms and stuff like that on their own. Like fixed some of the plumbing and put in all new tubs and toilets and sinks and all that stuff and cabinets, and now they've been like working on redoing their driveway, and they're still gonna pay somebody to like pour the concrete, but they did like all the digging and stuff like that to save a couple grand on that, because digging a big old hole takes a lot of energy, and that's expensive manpower. I would know. I dug a big old pond in my backyard, but I didn't dig nearly as much as my my great uncle Howard, which he's in his 90s and he still is out there like every day working in his yard doing something. But he dug an entire swimming pool for his family in his house. Not in his house, but in the yard. And it was crazy too because he bought this little bitty house and he just kept building and adding more onto it to where the house ended up being an entire like 9-bedroom mansion or something like that. And it started as a little like 2-bedroom house. And he added all this stuff and he dug by hand an entire swimming pool. And then barely anybody ever used it. So he ended up filling in the swimming pool after so long, after digging it all up by hand. So that's one of the things that after hearing that story or whatever, like, I really don't want to move anytime soon. Just because, like, I went through all this effort of digging up this pond and getting it all ready to go and making it look really nice and something that I'm happy with. And gosh, if I just move somewhere else, even if that place has a pond that I do like, I just still would not want somebody to come and buy this house and just like not like the pond for whatever reason and just fill it in immediately with a bunch of dirt and all that stuff. I'd be so mad. Because I went through so much effort to make that. And you just came in freaking bulldozer and just dirt.
Da, 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 da. Butterflies. I'm going to put white spots on them to help accent. But yeah, butterfly wings.
That's cool.
Thanks.
So wait, I saw the part like you painted the nail like a solid color.
Uh-huh.
How does that is it a
so it's a stamp. So it's a metal plate, and then you put the stamping polish on it, which is like essentially a thinner nail polish, and then you use like this little gel stamp picker upper, and you pick it up and then you put it on the nail.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's clear so you can see exactly where you're placing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah, so you pick it up off the plate, and then you go like this over the nail, and then it transfers on there.
huh. That's
Yeah.
like crazy.
Stamps.
Huh. Post a picture for the community tab.
Right?
One on this side of
I
the
don't know why
chat.
my phone does not like taking pictures of any of my nails. Like, I've tried posting them in Discord the last couple times, and they're just like fuzzy on the edges. I don't know what's with my phone and why it hates my nails so much.
I think I might need to get a new phone sometime soon, which I hate saying because I hate buying expensive things, but I also hate contracts and like reoccurring payments even more. So I'd much rather just buy a phone for a couple $100 versus, paying for a phone for like $50 a month for 3 years or something
Right.
so I'd but that's what sucks about this Best Buy outlet. You can't just like go and buy an unlocked phone at Best Buy anymore like I used to do a couple of years ago last time I bought a phone. And I don't know. There's probably other places out there. I'm sure there's still some sort of Best Buy that's not this Best Buy outlet out there. Or I might have to find like a Radio Shack or something.
Radio Shack's still a thing?
No, I was joking.
Oh.
But I'm sure there's still something out there where I can just go and buy a Motorola or a Samsung, so some sort of phone. Well, I do like my Motorola phones. I had a it was like a gosh, I don't remember what it was called back when I was on Sprint. It was like an Evo or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was made by Motorola, and then when I came over to T-Mobile, they had their own version of it, and then now that version is like gone and has been replaced by it's like a Moto G Power or something like that, and I think the one I have is like 2021 maybe. So my phone isn't necessarily super old. And find a Circuit City. There we go. Yeah, Circuit City. I'm sure there's one of those somewhere.
Nope, those closed down because my sister used to work there.
I know.
Oh, we're continuing the joke. I'm sorry. I'm distracted, okay?
No, it's okay. I'm the joke isn't fully clear, I don't think necessarily. My sarcasm is next level. But yeah. There's gotta be somewhere that I can go.
You can always go to Target. They're always hassling people for different cell services.
They're trying to get you to sign up for the service though and all that. Like they don't sell unlocked phones where you can just go buy a phone and
like put minutes on it.
Plug your SIM card in and have your phone continue to go. Like I have a contract or whatever, a family plan with my parents and my brother through T-Mobile, but it's like in order to get a new phone through T-Mobile, I have to like go to an actual T-Mobile place. I have to have my mom with me because she's the account holder, and then I also have. They only sell these like phones that are like really expensive or like, and they tend to want to just add it onto your contract or whatever. And like I don't want to pay extra amount on my monthly contract. I just want to buy the phone outright, plug my SIM card into it, and be ready to go.
That was a loud car that just passed your house.
That was. That really was. I wasn't sure if that actually picked up.
Oh yeah, that picked up. Couldn't hear you for a second.
Yeah, that was very loud. Which yeah, that's just ridiculous. I'm glad the guy that lives across from me doesn't live there anymore. Though I'm not sure about the new family that lives there. But it seems like the new family that lives there might actually own the house because they've been doing a lot of like work.
Like renovations.
It seems like they've been doing lots of renovations and stuff, and so I would assume that they own the house, which is cool, because a lot of the people around here are renters, and they just are so different than the people that own houses. They just don't care. And my neighbors over here, like every so often, I can't like prove it's them, but I'm pretty sure it's them. Like sometimes I'll just find trash in my backyard and stuff. It seems to be coming over from that side of the fence, and they're always the younger boys or whatever are like always asking me like, "Hey man, like you should let me cut your yard or whatever." And it's like, no, I already got somebody that takes care of my yard, and I got a really good deal on it. And then they're trying to like haggle with me, like I'll do it cheaper and all this stuff. And it's just like I would much rather have a company, with that just takes the money right out of my credit card every time they do it, and not have to worry about it. And also be able to, have somebody that I can actually like a full on company that if there is a problem, I can like complain and like have them pay me and sue and properly whatever else, than just some random kid mowing my lawn that doesn't even have like their, I don't know, they're just not very respectful. It seems like I just don't really want them to mow my lawn, and they just keep asking a lot too. And last time they asked it, I kind of had a little bit of an attitude with them. Like, hey, I was like, man, like you guys just keep asking me, and I say I got it handled. Like I got somebody that takes care of my yard to do a really good deal. Like I don't need you to cut my yard. I got it taken care of. So just leave me alone about it.
Hey, you kids, stay off my lawn.
Right, exactly. Hey, stay off my lawn. But it's just like I don't understand why they seem so crazy eager to mow my lawn too. And it's like maybe they're just like business hungry kids or whatever, which is like I guess kind of good on one end. But it's like I just am not interested in their business because I don't know. I got somebody else that does it, and they do a good job. And they can take the money out of my credit card. I don't have to worry about trying to go to the bank and get cash every time they want to bring their lawnmower over to my yard. And gosh, but they've just been so like, and what I finally remember like some of the examples that I was trying to come up with as to like why they're just disrespectful and all that. Like they just like will leave their lawnmower and stuff like in the middle of my yard. And just like leave or whatever else, and they'll just be like sitting there in the middle of my yard for an hour. And I'm pretty sure it was them the one time that might have just mowed my yard, but then just left grass everywhere and caused me to have to pay a fine to freaking Florissant for leaving grass all over the place that I didn't even do. And so I just like, yeah, I don't want them anywhere near my yard, especially not with a bunch of stuff that could potentially chop down all my really nice plants. So,
right.
Yeah. She's back, but her mouth is full. I thought she was going to say that.
Oh, what did I buy this week? You hit it on the nail earlier. More nail stuff. So I got a couple of nail polishes. I don't know. Am I using any of the new ones today? I don't think I am. Well, the stamping polish is new. The black, I got the black stamping polish. The plate is new. So I bought that this week. Technically like the top coat that I'm using. But yeah, I got some nail polishes, which is very exciting. One of them is magnetic, which is really cool. I don't know how well it's going to work though. It's a magnetic polish, which most people, when they use a magnetic, it's gel. So it sets with a UV light. So it stays wet for a while so you can like really play with the magnetic pattern and you have time to do it. But this is a polish, so it like dries like a normal polish. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then the second one is a thermal one. So when it's warm, it's one color. When it's cold, it's another color.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a thermal one. I'm so excited to use that. But I was more excited to do these butterfly ones first. So that's what I'm doing first. Once I'm through this set.
There was these college students that developed a nail polish that reacted to like the common date rape drugs.
Oh, yes.
So that, you could like just dip your finger in your drink after you come back from the bathroom and test your drink before you drink it to see if, the guy or girl, whatever you're into, put something in your drink.
See if you got roofied.
Or anybody else at the bar or whatever, Because, I don't know. I don't really think about it so much anymore. But when I first started going around this bar, Parrots or whatever, and just any bar in general, like, I don't just like to leave my drink around. Like, I'm not even a chick or whatever, but I just don't like to leave my drink around. You never know what people do. People are crazy.
Well, and not even for like a essay or whatever offense, but just like bad pranks, which are not cool.
Like, bad prank, drugs, whatever. Yeah, I just generally just don't trust people. So I just don't want to leave my drink around. But when I'm with friends, I don't feel as, worried about just leaving my drink around because, like, you got friends that are looking out for you and watching your drink too. So, but when I first started going around to this bar, I was there and my brother came. And so it's like, okay, my brother's here. My brother's sitting at the table. So I can leave my drink and I can comfortably get up and go to the bathroom and not have to worry about anything. And I come out of the bathroom and my brother is like nowhere to be seen. And my drink is just sitting in the middle of the bar and that was one of those nights that the bar was, pretty busy. And so it's just like, I didn't say anything to my brother about like, hey, watch my drink. I'm going to the bathroom. But just the way that I am, I thought it was like common courtesy that when you're with a group of people and one person gets up to like go away or whatever, like you don't abandon like the food and the drinks with like no supervision. Like somebody is always left at the table to watch the food, the drinks, the purses, all the stuff, whatever. And so like when he came back from wherever he was, like I was like, thanks for washing my drink, you jerk. And he's like, what? And I was like, I just feel like you should have, been a bit of a better brother and been looking out for me or whatever. And I went to the bathroom.
Nail
polish color, nice.
Yeah, so the thermal, the color changing.
Oh yeah,
like a mood ring. Yeah,
what it is.
Nail polish started out as car paint. I believe that. It smells like car paint. What was I gonna say? Oh, when Nathan's dad got remarried and I went to his stepmom's bachelorette party, that was definitely me. They decided to go to like a nightclub out at one of the casinos. I forget which one. I'm not a big dancer anyway. like, so the VIP area was just a circle of couches just in the middle of like the lounge area. Like there was no like security, there was no like door or anything that would open or close. So I just sat in the lounge area all night watching everybody's purses. That's what I did all night.
And that's pretty much what I tend to do a lot of times when I go to any place like that. I'm the guy that just watches everybody's stuff and makes sure nobody messes with their things. And so it's just like, it would be nice if somebody would do the same thing for me, you know?
Yep.
You know, they say treat other people the way you want to be treated. Well, I mean, that is true, but I guess you should never expect anything per se. But it's just like, I was just a little surprised. He just got up and just did it. Just like, but then again, my brother, there's a lot of things that I just notice that I just like, I can't like not notice that my brother is just completely oblivious to.
Yeah.
Like a month and a half, 2 months ago, something like that, parents bought all new like gambling machinery or whatever. They used to have like these little bitty TVs that were like, they had like 2 or 3 of them actually on the bar, and then they had like some different ones kind of around the bar. But now they have all new ones that are like digital. They're much bigger, so there's just like huge bright lights all over the place. Like it's like all of a sudden the place turned into Vegas. And I walk in the bar and I immediately know. Oh, sorry, hiccups. And I immediately notice, and I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Everything's so different. And so I sit down at the bar, and my brother comes in like an hour and a half later or something, and just doing the same talk or whatever. And I'm just like, man, it's just like really tripping me out with all these new machines in here. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's just like so bright and all that. And my brother's like, what are you talking about? And it's like, do you not, dude, look around. And he's like, what? And I'm like, do you not see all the new machines and stuff? And it's like, oh, yeah, oh, you're right. Yeah,
I guess those are different.
That yeah, the little TV I did kind of notice that the little TV on the corner wasn't there, but yeah, I didn't notice any of those all around everything else. I'm just like, oh my god, I couldn't not notice. Like, it's just like, it's not a needle in a haystack. It's a freaking, I don't know. It's the blood stain on the carpet or whatever. You know, like, how do you not see it? Like, Salient Aquatics is here. What's up, Salient?
Salient.
And James B, thanks for being here. I know you don't always chat a lot. Back from the doctor. All right. Unless you actually meant to say DOC instead of that. But I think that's just the way your text autocorrected. I love planting all the stuff in spring, but then I become impatient and I just want the stuff grow. Grow, 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 grow. I got ghost peppers, which I cut up a lot too to help with aeration. I need to next year I'm gonna cut back my blackberries a lot because they just kind of grown crazy, and I got a little bit lazy, and this like vine kind of took over a little area. So there's like this kind of patch right in the center that is just like a bunch of dead stuff. So I need to like clear all that out, cut all the live stuff down a whole lot, and then just kind of not fully start over, but start over a significant amount with the blackberries because they'll bush out and grow like crazy after all that big trimming. So probably at the end of this year, well, not the end. I mean, at the end of like summer into fall, I'll probably tear that whole fence down around it because it's just kind of falling apart too, and trim the blackberry vines down like crazy, and then redo that fence. So yeah, that's something that I've been like thinking too. It's like if I need to redo that fence, and I need to redo a little fence around the blueberries, and then I redo the fence around do a fence around the garden area. I'm also thinking about buying one of those like metal, like build it yourself raised beds.
Yeah.
Just one big one, just for some different stuff. Put that in one area, and then the next big plan for the backyard is to start building stuff for a chicken run for bantam chickens, miniature chickens. As far as the eggs goes, I would much rather have ducks, full-size ducks, because I just like having duck eggs. I like those better than chicken eggs. But I just would much rather have chickens versus ducks as far as caring for them. And then I'm going to go with bantam chickens just because my yard isn't huge, and you can only have 4 fowl in fluorescent anyway, at least without having to get any sort of like special permit and have a yard big enough that qualifies for livestock and whatever else. So I would feel better getting miniature chickens versus trying to get enough space for full-size chickens, or having full-size chickens in like a condensed area. It's like you get a 55-gallon tank. What do you put in the 55-gallon tank? Do you put like 1 or 2 Oscars in there, or do you put like 50 guppies? Or even just a couple guppies, but those couple guppies will have so much space to swim in. And so, based off limited space, I feel like 4 miniature chickens would have a good amount of space in my yard, whereas I do technically have enough space to do 4 full-size chickens. I just don't feel as comfortable with them being in a smaller area. I want to give them as best of a life as I can, because the happier chicken, gives you better eggs, and then whenever the time comes, better meat down the road. Yeah, so what do duck eggs taste like? Thicker, better for bacon. You only need 1 for an omelet. I would still do at least 2 for an omelet, but that's just because I like eggs. And for an omelet, I'm doing probably 6 chicken eggs anyway. So
6? That's a thick omelet.
No, it's just really nice and big.
Oh, like my pancakes that I've talked about, my dinner plate size.
Full-size pan, and I do 6 eggs in there, so it's not that thick, but it's a full-size pan.
Big, yeah. Like I've talked about how I did my dinner plate size pancakes.
So yeah, that's what I've said it in the past. Like it would be nice to have an emu that laid eggs like a chicken, because then I could just crack 1 emu egg versus having to have 6 chicken eggs every time I wanted an omelet or scrambled eggs or something like that. Wow, 6, that's a lot. I don't really.
It is a lot.
It is?
Yeah.
6 eggs with some bacon and some hash browns. I don't think it's that much. But anyway.
That's a lot of eggs.
But yeah, so they pretty much, as far as taste goes, I think they pretty much taste generally kind of the same. It is a little like, I guess, richer. Like there's more like healthier fat and like the protein ratio and stuff. They are definitely better for baking than like a chicken egg would be. And I just think they're better. I just like them more. Especially the yolk. Because I don't know, I never liked chicken. Like I never liked yolk when I was a kid. I love hard boiled eggs, but I tend to just eat the white part and throw the yolk away. But with the duck eggs, I don't just want to just eat like just the yolk, but I can eat the yolk with the egg white or whatever, and I don't not like it as much. And I don't necessarily know what it is about the yolk. I don't know how to describe it. How do you describe what something tastes like? I don't know.
I think I would say the yolk is richer. I don't. Yeah, it's hard to describe. I also haven't had a duck egg in a long time, so it's not like fresh on my mind. The difference. Yeah. He said, "If that's your breakfast, I wonder what you have for dinner. 3 full-size rotisserie chickens."
Please, just one. No, I've actually never eaten an entire rotisserie chicken, but I tend to eat about 2/3 of a rotisserie chicken to where there's not much left after I'm done, to where the next day I'll just kind of use that little bit of chicken for something else versus just eating the rotisserie chicken leftovers. They prove cakes and pastry bigger than a chicken, more volume. Try them if you get a chance. Yeah. I also recommend, it may sound weird, but if you're making cake, especially like a chocolate cake or something, put just one scoop, not necessarily a lot, but just like one little spoonful of mayonnaise in there. And it'll make your cake extra fluffy, extra moist, and extra delicious. It's super good. And something that I tried once, but I used too much mayonnaise. But you can use like mayonnaise to make a grilled cheese instead of like butter. And you put like a very, very thin layer of mayonnaise on the bread versus butter, and you pan fry, grill it. It browns much more evenly and better versus burning quickly like the butter can, and it's pretty good. The one time I tried it, I used too much mayonnaise though, and my bread was just a little soggy-ish, but the flavor was good. I definitely like that. And sometimes a little bit of mayonnaise on a grilled cheese in general, like the actual sandwich, is good too. So, I don't know. Sometimes I like to put pickles in a grilled cheese as well. Just cheese and pickles. Oh! So, today at my family reunion, my dad had some pickled sausage. I was like, I had to like mentally fight myself to try it, and then I tried it, and it was like really, really good. Because it's like the idea of pickled sausage just sounded gross, but then like thinking about what it actually is, and it's just vinegar and spices on smoked sausage, like the flavor palette or whatever actually sounds really good, even though for some reason thinking pickled sausage in my head just sounds gross. Like pickled pig's feet. One of these days I'm gonna try pickled pig's feet, but it just sounds so gross in my mind.
Yeah.
But like the pickled sausage was really, really good. And so my parents like saved the brine and they're just gonna get like some Jimmy Dean sausage or whatever and throw it in there. Not Jimmy Dean, friggin' what's the
Like
Slim
breakfast
Jim.
sausage? Oh, Slim Jim. Oh, or the what is the new one that everyone likes? I forget. I seen them at Aldi every now and then.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called.
There's a lot of different ones, but just some, some smoked sausage snack sticks or whatever, cut them up and throw it in there. Dude, that'd be good. And that's given me some ideas on pickling a lot more things now too, and being willing to try that stuff because
I just got these German ones from Aldi. They were pickles and garlic, and they're like the little skinny thin gherkins. But they're so good.
I do like garlic in my dill pickles, but I still like sour pickles. I don't want sweet.
Well, no, they're not. They're dill. They're dill and garlic. Yeah, they're not sweet pickles, but they're just the small gherkin style cucumbers, like the little ones.
Nice. I need some of those.
They're good. They come in a little jar. They're at Aldi right now.
Yeah,
which I know you don't really shop at Aldi.
A big jar of all those little pickles.
Yeah.
To where I'm like a freaking monkey trying to grab those things out of there.
I did get it. There was a bigger jar, and it just said German style, so I don't know what that means yet. I haven't opened it and tried them yet, but they're also like the small.
I'm always really nervous about buying pickles because there's all these different styles, and it's just like, what is German style? Is that sweet? Is it sour? Like, I don't know. I don't want to be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you don't like it, and you're stuck with this whole jar of pickles that you're not going to eat.
Right, exactly. Oh, man. Well, I forgot that we started a couple minutes late because of technical.
Oh, my God, it's already 10? Oh,
never even said it. Was like, oh, sorry for the late start because of technical difficulties. But, yeah, we're like 6 minutes over, even though
it was my fault. My mic wasn't working.
Yeah. Something's going on with Gina's mic. Hopefully she can get it fixed. But
it's a cheap mic off the TikTok shop, so I won't be too mad if it ends up breaking.
Scared.
Scared you? What'd I do? How'd I scare you? Did I do it? Did he do it?
Anyway, that's it for this episode, I guess. We will talk to you guys next week on another awesome episode of Fish Friends. I hope you guys have a great week. Next week is Memorial Weekend. I have to work on Saturday. I'll be done before the live stream, obviously, but I will have that next Monday off, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of different plans and stuff for Memorial Weekend. I'm excited to get out and grill and all that. And also pay my respect to the veterans that didn't make it home. And everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great week at work. And we will see you next time on another awesome episode of Fish Friends.
See you guys later. Bye.
See ya. Bye. So long. Thanks for the fish.